Jeremiah chapter 30 in the Brenton Septuagint translation, the restoration of Israel and Judah, the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus speaks the Lord God of Israel, saying, Write all the words which I have spoken to thee in a book. For behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will bring back the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, said the Lord, and I will bring them back to the land which I gave to their fathers, and they shall be lords of it. And these are the words which the Lord spoke concerning Israel and Judah. Thus said the Lord, Ye shall hear a sound of fear. There is fear, and there is not peace. Inquire and see if a male has borne a child, and ask concerning the fear, wherein they shall hold their loins, and look for safety. For I have seen every man, and his hands are on his loins, their faces are turned to paleness. For that day is great, and there is not another. It is a time of straightness to Jacob, but he shall be saved out of it. In that day, I think it's talking about the day of the Lord, saith the Lord, I will break the yoke off of their neck, no more captivity, and will burst their bonds, and they shall no longer serve strangers, but they shall serve the Lord their God, and I will raise up to them David their king. David their king. David is the king of Israel, not JC. This is a constant Christian lie that I will speak out against constantly. Thus saith the Lord, I have brought on thee destruction. Thy stroke is painful. There is none to judge thy cause. Thou hast been painfully treated for healing. There is no help for thee. All thy friends have forgotten thee. They shall not ask about thee at all. For I have smitten thee with the stroke of an enemy, even severe correction. Thy sins have abounded above all thine iniquity. Thy sins have abounded beyond the multitude of thine iniquities. Therefore they have done these things to thee. Therefore all that devour thee shall be eaten, and all thine enemies shall eat all their own flesh, and they that spoil thee shall become a spoil, and I will give up to be plundered all that have plundered thee. No explanation. For I will bring about thy healing. I will heal thee of thy grievous wounds, saith the Lord. For thou art called dispersed. She is your prey, for no one seeks after her. Right? The real true Israelites are called dispersed. Dispersed into all nations on planet Earth. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will turn the captivity of Jacob, and will have pity upon his prisoners, and the city shall be built upon her hill, and the people shall settle after their manner, and there shall go forth from them singers, even the sound of men making merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not at all be diminished. And their sons shall go in as before, and their testimonies shall be established before me, and I will visit them that afflict them. We need a king that's going to do something for us, and he keeps saying that he will. He will defend us and deliver us and defeat our enemies. And their mighty one shall be over them, and their prince shall proceed of themselves. And David, and I will gather them, and they shall return to me. For who is this that has set his heart to return to me, saith the Lord? For the wrathful anger of the Lord has gone forth, even a whirlwind of anger has gone forth. It shall come upon the ungodly. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he shall execute it, and until he shall establish the purpose of his heart. In the latter days ye shall know these things. In the last days, if you are a 1/3 only Israelite, we are waiting for David the Messiah to be risen up amongst his people. You are not waiting on JC the false god. You are not doing this. You are not doing this. It would be impossible for you to do this. You are waiting on David to come back. Ezekiel 37. Let me do this real fast. Ezekiel 37 verses 24. Right? They will 2023. They will no longer defile themselves with their idols or detestable images or with any of their transgressions. I will save them from all their apostasies by which they have sinned, and I will cleanse them. Then they will be my people, and I will be their God. My servant David will be king over them, and there will be one shepherd for all of them. They will follow my ordinances and keep and observe my statutes. They will live in the land that I gave to my servant Jacob, where your fathers lived. They will live there forever with their children and grandchildren, and my servant David will be their prince forever. And I will make a covenant of peace with them. It will be an everlasting covenant. I will establish them and multiply them, and I will set my sanctuary among them forever. My dwelling place will be with them. I will be their God, and they will be my people. Then the nations will know that I, the Lord, sanctify Israel when my sanctuary is among them forever. So you are waiting on David, the Messiah. You are waiting on him. It is important to wait. There's two things that you got to wait for. Two things. I don't think I have enough time. We are waiting for the return of Elijah the prophet, as mentioned in Malachi chapter 3, and we are waiting for David after that to be revealed to the world, and onward to our eternal destiny, becoming a nation again. Praise Yah only.